welcome to another episode of Radio with Pictures in the Field from our Northern Division consultation. For the past 3 days, we've been discussing the development priorities of rural women leaders from across Vanua Levu. We've listened to women from Rambi, Mbua and Savu Savu talk about economic security for women in their communities. And now we're joined by women leaders from rural Madawata, including Sarita Lau, who is a member of the Naleba Multiracial Women's Club, and Dimakita Lena, who is the president of the Naleba Multiracial Women's Club. Good morning to you both. And also joining us today are Jojiana Waqanitoga, who is a member of the Langi Young Women's Club. And Jojiana, you live 140 kilometers away from Labasa town. Thank you for joining us. And finally, Savu Daugunu, who is representing the Tawake Women's Group. Welcome, ladies. As I said, we've been identifying our priorities from the past 3 days about better infrastructure. And Jojiana, you've been talking about accessing education because you're a young mother from Langi. When it comes to the change in the development in Langi, what do you want to see as a young mother from Langi? There are so many developments we would like to see happening in our community, but this one strikes us so badly as mothers is education, because due to transportation, due to the bad road, the bus can't go, and the truck, it is very expensive. We have to spend just one way. We can spend 150 bringing our kids down to town. Wow. Yes, and it doesn't only affect Langi. There are 14 other communities. Population of kids can be 50. So yes, we would really like to see kindergarten and the development. As at the moment, they are using the Langi Hall. The community hall? Yes, the community hall. So if there is any function, they find it hard because they have to stop their class for the day. And for us as members of the group, the women group, we also find it difficult. But they are our precious, they are important to us. Yeah, so we also find it sometimes, it's a challenge for us to uphold our meetings. Yes. And to see your children get good education. And for them to also have good education. Thank you, Jojiana. Savu, I'd like to come to you from the district of Tawake, and listening to Jojiana talk about access to education, but also services and road conditions. What are the services available for communities in Tawake? You were talking about the community health center. What's that like in Tawake?
Tawake is a district of about 6 villages, but the quarters for the nurse is it's the same building to serve the patient. So in times of many patients coming from to the dispensary, it's very hard for the nurse to serve all these patients. So that's why it's different. So we'll carry some patients to another close house, so they can give like the drip or like that. So it's facing difficulties for the nurse to do all these service.
So it's lack of space?
Yeah, lack of space. And I think that's still old model for the nursing station.
Okay. Thank you, Savu. Andima and Sarita, listening to what Jojiana and Savu were saying about lack of space for education for children, but also for health services in the community, and coming to your communities in Naleba and looking at how development is happening there, what's it like in Naleba for women in your communities? Sarita? In terms of access to services or the road conditions, what is it like for the women?
And because of the bad road condition, the flood there.
What time did you have to wake up today?
I have to wake up 4 o'clock and early because of the heavy rain, if I will be late, so I can't catch the bus on the time. And the road condition is very bad.
How bad is it?
Just I was explaining that ladies should know that how we plant the rice. That type the condition is our road.
So with all the rain, you can't.
Yeah, and the flood there. It's very difficult to come out from there, even the heavy rain times.
Thank you, Sarita. And for you, Andima?
Thank you very much. The condition of the road which is going on now, it takes a population of over 1,000, really reach 2,000 people which is using the road from Labasa to Mataniwai, right to Tanekula. This morning the second bus unable to come up because of the flooding and because of the road bad condition. It's flooding, and most of the children this morning going to school to Naleba, they are unable to go to school because of the flooding. Like this morning I came, I have to cross 2-3 places flooding, then I have to come and catch the other bus on the other way. So that is what is happening on our community.
And how long has this been an issue for your community?
I think it's more than 20 years because if we raise up the issue, like now, yesterday it's been flooding, so we saw the road department, they come and patch somewhere there, and flooded this morning, had been washed away again. So when something happened and they patch it, why can't they do it when in dry season? But it's not affected only the 2,000 people on this side. It affected mostly right to the coastal, right to Yundu point. So this, because the road is the connect to all the places, to right to town area. Like from Undu point, they are unable to come when most of the soil erosion on the way. Nombo, when we passed Nombo, before we reach Namatuki, there's most of the soil erosion happening there.
Thank you, Andima. You raised a very good point there about the patching of the roads. And they do it one day, the rain comes, because it's been raining for 3 days pretty much non-stop. And then all of that effort, all of that money is washed away. Is that very sustainable to you? Do you think that's very sustainable? No. Jojiana? No. Okay, so looking at development, okay, and looking how it happens as it is, and looking at if it's taking your needs and your opinions and experiences into account, and what needs to change so that we have sustainable development, so that we have good roads for the bus to come, so that people aren't paying $150 just to take children to the education. Okay, so we have the National Gender Policy, and that's been existing for 3 years. Since 2014, we've had this National Gender Policy, and it's about responding to the needs of women in development. But what needs to happen to make sure that your issues as women leaders are included in the development plan? I'd like to come to you, Jojiana. Who needs to listen to the experiences of women talking about access to education, talking about trying to find $150 just to get your child to an education center?
Thank you. Well, basically it starts from the family. The communication with the husband, then it goes out to the village meeting, and it follows in that way. But
how long has the issue of access to education been a problem for the Langi community?
For our kindergarten, it's since 2006, and we also have 3 primary schools there and 1 secondary school. So it's been going on for a couple of years now, because we'll lose track. Cause like every year they change their headmaster, their headmistress, or their head teachers, and mostly kids are just left there. Teachers come to town and they can like leave on Friday. In the morning they come down to town and they come back in Monday afternoon, and it takes up 2 days. No education. We send them to school fully packed. The mothers in our community, they send the children to school full packed, but there's nothing given to them.
So it's about quality of education as well as trying to get the structures there for education. Thank you. Disavu, you're describing conditions of the nursing station in Tawake, people being treated in homes because there's no space in the quarters. What do you want to see changed for that? Who needs to be listening to your perspective as a rural women leader?
This issue we are taking up by the district meeting, so right up to the province. So they have the government, but we heard that the quotas will be coming, from the government to come and upgrade or take it to be a separate one for the health, for the nurse, and one for the surgeon, maybe dispensary. So after the Winston, they never talk again. It's just right up there. So they said they no money or whatever they said that, the government. So till now we are still suffering from all this, the lack of space.
Thank you, Disavu. Sarita, coming back to you for Naleba, listening to what the other three ladies have been talking about, what's your experience trying to communicate your issues? What have you been trying in your community with your Naleba Multiracial Women's Group? How have you been discussing your issues?
We have to discuss. We want to talk to the government and the people to come and solve our problems, because the road condition and also the electricity is there. About 20-25 years we still waiting for the electricity, because this time the rain season we have a very hard to work at home. Even 4 o'clock when you come up, we have no lamp there. And we are waiting for that the government that this year we want to be a good road and electricity, so that it's easy. It's help us for my children and for us to do the work, and if we want to go to attend the workshops, it's easy for us.
Okay, thank you, Sarita. So we're talking about our issues. We've been saying it's been ongoing for at least 10 years, 20 more years in terms of Naleba, and with the impact of TC Winston on your health issue. So looking at the decision makers and looking at the provincial level or the Turanganikoro or the local government officials. Anjuma, you were saying yesterday that the Turanganikoro or the advisory councillor, they need to receive civic education. They need to be taught about gender training. Explain to me why that needs to happen.
Well, they need civic education, because when we are educated, we are skilled. When we have the knowledge, and you know your roles to do. Mostly, I've been following most of the village about the Turanganikoro. Anything happen in the village, like disaster, you hardly see any Turanganikoro to follow up, to see what is happening. Especially the women in the community, they move to them and tell them what is happening. Because of the consultation we have in Family Pacific, it's empowered us and strengthened us. You know, we are expert for what we have to do. So that's why they are really need for the education, the civic education, so that they have the knowledge, they know their roles, what to do.
So they're accountable to the women and those they represent. Thank you, Andima. So finally, to wrap up, everyone, We need to celebrate ourselves as leaders, as women, wives, and mothers, but also to encourage other women as they try to make change in their community. So what is your one message to other women leaders across Fiji and also in the Northern Division? For you, Jojiana? What's your one message? If you could speak to another young mum, what would you say to her?
She's got all the right, she's got all the power, and we as young women, we have the knowledge to move, hit, and look forward.
Thank you, Jojiana. For you, Sarita, what's your message?
My message is to attend the workshops and the ladies to work together, empower them, and that
supporting one another as women. Thank you. Disavu, what's your message to other women?
A woman is maybe the whole thing. If the woman is not in the house, I think everything will be everything will be not okay because the woman is there. So the woman only can do everything because she will be the suffering of everything. So we can come up for every issues. Maybe in the house, in the village, or where she is living. So woman, you get up. Don't sit down and look down on you. You can do everything. You can change everything.
Women can do everything. And finally, Andima, your message?
Thank you. Women are listening from today, wherever you are, or the problem, or the mountains you are having, you come out from that mountain. Come out from that cage. Come and attend and cooperate with what are doing in this organization, family, so that because you have more talents with you, you can do, you can make it, you can expand. Thank you.
Thank you, Andima. Cooperate and support with each other. And that's it for this episode of Radio with Pictures in the Field. Thank you for joining us.